Hey, what's going on, guys? Looks like we're out here, Chaparral Park today. Yeah, I'm taking you out here to just kind of get a little break away from the mall. Realistically, we've been there a lot in the last, like month and a half or so, 2 months, or actually, like 2 months, 3 months. We've just been like kind of hardcore going back and forth. Like I was saying, we're just kind of here to talk about our highlights of GoFest this year. Kind of want to talk about the ups and downs. But hopefully everyone's GoFest was pretty dope. At the end of the day, I guess I'll spoil you guys, and I thought it was a super fun GoFest. I feel like no matter what you're doing in Go, you're gonna have a lot of fun, but it was a tad bit underwhelming. But that's, I guess compared to, like the last couple GoFests I had experienced, or the last two, I guess, Necrozma, the 7th generation GoFest. Yeah, exactly, and Rayquaza and the Primals, that was pretty insane. This year was pretty crazy, honestly. It felt very busy. Just because for us, if you guys had been paying attention to the last couple videos, we had kind of made it a new mission of ours this summer to build up our local, the most local mall to us at least. Just because our most local, the mall for whatever reason, I find it kind of funny, was just never really built in the last 9 years Go has been out. You could see it had slowly been like...
Yeah, people were picking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was like 4 or 5 stops in the whole mall when we got to it.
Yeah, but realistically...
That's at the 9th year,
it's gone on. Exactly, after like 9 years, it's like, bro.
Yeah, obviously no one's building.
There's not too much structure. So yeah, because of all that, it really like made this year's... Like I said, we had kind of made it our mission to reinvigorate that mall, just because might as well, give us another area to play. But yeah, all due to that, we just felt like super busy, but it kind of made the whole experience that much more crazy, because realistically, if it wasn't for that, I'm sure we would have probably felt, I would have probably felt very underwhelmed with this GoFest.
Sure. I mean, it would have been like we probably would have went to Chandler or something, which is still dope.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Chandler Mall's hella dope. That was actually
drive, and then more driving. It's sort of just the classic Arizona gameplay for Go. You're just in the car all day, which makes sense, I guess, because it's summer. But still, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to build up all these new play areas to get everyone out of their cars, get everyone, playing Go. Yeah, exactly, playing Go, socializing, experiencing, more of a on-the-ground community type feel, So that's why we're just, just like with our city over in Fountain Hills and the neighboring parks, we've just been building them all up for when it's the cooler, when it's a better climate outside. We can at least start inviting people out to experience, the new and improved parks. And that's why I kind of, that's one of the reasons we even came out here, because this is actually one of the local parks we never really needed to touch up.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortunately for us.
Did we get our break finally?
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy the park, not build it.
But yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, everywhere has to face, different challenges. And out here, at least with Pokemon Go, Arizona, the climate and the temperatures are a big part of the everyday, challenge for us, especially once we start getting into summer. And that's kind of like why we decided we wanted to build up the mall, because it's just kind of to change the flow of gameplay, change up how everyone experiences Pokemon Go and all that, and just their community gameplay and all that, because like we were saying before, it was very car-centric. I'm even breaking a sweat out here. I think it's like, what, a cool 105. 103, not bad. It's pretty moderate. Yeah, and it's like 7:30. Yeah, exactly. But it's not bad at all.
Should have gotten water. I'm gonna die out here.
And that's where we kind of came in since we moved over here to Arizona. We noticed everyone was super car-centric, as in most of the communities were kind of out here just driving around from point to point. And that's fun and all. That was actually pretty cool for us. It was like super different from California gameplay.
Yeah, a good change of pace for sure.
We just wanted to kind of change it up and wanted to bring more of an old school Pogo experience. Kind of like what we started with out in the Bay Area. Want to get everyone outside more active, get them out of their cars, you know, get them socializing a little bit more.
It just makes everything easier. Lucky trades, just the community feeling and sticking together, you know what I mean? Actually being a community instead of just everyone driving around. Just hopefully no one crashes into each other. And that's the feeling of being into a community. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I mean. Like,
that's basically when my brother and I started building. And the big thing with us is when we're building, we're not just building, you know, random builds. We're not just building 1 or 2 stops. We're usually doing pretty concentrated builds where if we're going to be building up a mall, for example, or even a whole park, like this park out here, not saying that we did this park, but we have built a couple parks in the Arizona area. Usually what you want to do is you want to try and figure out like a blueprint, I guess you could say, or kind of like lay out.
Like the most basic way to say it. You want to have a plan.
You want to have a
Just
plan.
willy-nilly, just anywhere and whatever works, because then you're going to get a gym across the street, not even at the park you're trying to build at, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
or 2 blocks down because you just built 5 stops and you didn't realize one of the stops was already was the priority. So, you know, you should have waited and scanned a stop for like a week or 2. So then thus giving it priority. You know, people don't know how that works. So
Yeah,
we're trying
exactly.
to teach everyone, like the specifics to how wayfaring works, to how, you know, everything works, you know, for the most part, at least what we know, you know, because we don't know everything, you know.
Yeah,
That's the whole
exactly.
point of the
We're all
community,
learning
everyone,
still.
Yeah, everyone getting together, teaching each other.
But
teaching each
essentially,
other, you know, knowledge, you know, because that's the point.
yeah, sharing exactly the knowledge we gained and all that. But essentially, realistically, that's what we're doing. We're laying out good foundations. Whether we're finishing up the full builds, we're usually at least laying out a good foundation for people to start building and or keep building off of. Especially in the Northeast Valley, like where we were, because we're over out in Fountain Hills, and
Scottsdale, North Scottsdale.
yeah, all those areas, even some of the parks were literally
even North
completely
Phoenix,
empty.
we
It
were
was
freaking
insane.
fucking with it.
A lot of the parks actually needed a lot of
a lot
help
of
out
parks
here.
needed
And it's like for us, you know, we're starting to, you know, put ourselves out there now, but it's been 3 years of us grinding Wayfarer
Yeah.
across this whole area, across Arizona
We
as a
didn't realize
state.
how spoiled we were in California. We didn't touch it. I never built a stop.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I literally only played for like the first 6 to 8 months of the game.
Exactly.
And then I literally got off. And I remember this dude was trying to get me on for years. Like, bro, get on. We're in like.
Well, yeah, I was
something.
always super casually
Yeah,
playing.
super casual, but still.
But yeah, eventually we're planning on making videos on all that, on the topics of Wayfarer, on
Yeah, no.
you know, just a lot of, like we're saying, we're just trying to share the knowledge we have of like what we've already experienced, the trials and all that we faced, and kind of just share it with everyone. Just because might as well, you know, because we're empowering our own community and might as well teach people how to do it with theirs.
Exactly. That's the whole point, you know, making connections.
Yeah, exactly. And just putting out proper knowledge,
Yeah.
sharing people, like
We've
what
covered
happens.
A lot of areas, and most areas are. They just don't realize like the people you can tell they built, which is awesome. You know, they're building, but
Yeah, the building's always a positive.
it's just they built wrong. Like they built gyms in their gated community, gyms in their gated work area. You know what I mean? Like business plazas that you literally can't get to. That's just a huge no. Like that's straight up should be basic. Wayfarer 101, basic Wayfarer etiquette, whatever you want to call it. That's literally should be part of it. Do not build in your gated areas. Unless the locale's already built through and you know it's going to be just a spot, then by all means, like, if you did your research, do it. You know what I mean? More power to you, but...
Yeah, but like I said,
little things like that.
we're planning on making videos on this topic a little bit more in the future because we need more knowledge being put out there to teach people proper ways how to use the Wayfarer
so
and to have
it's
more
just
people able to do what we've done, you know, making like little Pokemon Go paradises out here in the desert, like literally.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, we'll keep it moving for a little bit.
People don't wear enough freaking Overwatch merch, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so sick.
Hell yeah, Overwatch Summer. Hell yeah, that's just hype. Shout out, you know, leave a comment if you were playing Overwatch Summer. Who's played Lucio Ball here? But yeah, no, and that's like back to the topic at hand. But you know, like I was saying, making Pokemon paradises, and I kind of mean that by like, you know, when we talk about what building, like I was saying, we're talking about building a whole park, building a whole mall, you know, even like we've done with our city, the whole city itself, a little town. You know, when you're talking about those major builds,
Some sort of plan. You're not just gonna build.
yeah, exactly.
Kind of destroy your own areas, because that's what happens. Like, we've seen that a lot out here, where people just aren't controlled. Like, it's not a controlled build. Like, you're literally just seeing a Pokestop pop up down the street.
Yeah.
3 miles down, you know, part of the same section of Pokestops that's going to force it to become a gym, you know. Now it's just in the middle of nowhere, a bus stop, you know. It's like,
Exactly, and that's,
that, you know?
like we're saying, that's usually most players that learn Wayfair usually end up either building a couple random stops in the city or even a home stop or a work stop, you know, realistically is what most people do. And they're not really thinking about how it may be impacting the community, the area in the future, just because they don't have that knowledge, you know, of how the whole system works.
Yeah, so it gets pretty sketchy. You know, people are just building randomly, especially nearby, like malls, parks.
Yeah, you definitely want to be you want to be aware of where the area you're building around, because if you have a mall or a park anywhere nearby and you end up building a home stop or a work stop, you're technically taking away from that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just stuff people don't really know, you know, because the knowledge isn't really out there. Yeah, let's get back into how our Go Fest went, you know, how we ended up hosting this year's Go Fest out here in Fashion Square. Let's see. Oh yeah, I actually only ended up yeah, it was a pretty busy event. So I only ended up catching a little bit of footage personally while we were running around.
Yeah, I think the camera died and you overcharged it or something.
Yeah, something like that happened.
I was there for like fucking insane photo, dude.
Yeah, but it was a pretty crazy turnout due to the fact that we did a collaboration with our community over in Fountain Hills and Scottsdale, whatever you want to say, the Radiant Raiders, you know. We did a collab with us and 2 other community ambassador groups.
Yeah,
and it actually turned out super sick. Like, there were tons of people. Between all 3 of the communities, I'm pretty sure we were around, I'll actually slap a little group photo in there that we ended up taking.
150,
But
200 people
yeah, exactly. We had around like almost 200 people, I'm pretty sure, maybe a little over. You know, it really ended up working out because of the fact that we had just put in a ton of work, and it was realistically due to our community, you know, that we had held that event, the Radiant Raiders takeover at Fashion Square Mall. So without them really helping, it would have taken a lot longer, and even with the help, it still was like just enough to kind of get away with that whole event, because we only had like 3 gyms, about like 15, 18 stops or so. I wasn't too worried about the stop, so we were really just trying to grind out all the
at least get 4 gyms in there.
Yeah, the Wayfair, to get some more gyms inside of the actual building, so that we can, so that we didn't have to deal with too much summer heat, you know?
Yeah,
because I think it was like an easy 110, 115, both of those days. It was pretty hot days.
That's pretty
and it's just getting hotter, yeah. It's nothing too crazy. But yeah, due to the, you know, Ryan Does Dabs from Encanto collabing with us, and then our boy Desert Black Cat with the Phoenix Firebirds, thanks to them, we really did have a really good turnout. But all in all, aside from that, the event spawns were kind of chill. Like, I think
anything too crazy, but
yeah, exactly. The swans were okay.
I think.
Or they? I'm not even lucky with eggs, so that's why I like.
Yeah, it was
yeah. All right. Yeah, that's our. All right. I didn't even get a Sigilif. I got a Torkoal.
Since at the end of the last 10 minutes to the hour, it was unknowns or more regionals.
Oh, really?
Something like
Yeah, I had incense running the whole event, but I just didn't really. I was just going as, you know, catching and going. So for me, I was just kind of going with the flow. Plus, it was just a lot happening with all the people there. And at the beginning of the meetup, we had like we actually had like a bottlenecking, because we were doing like, we had all met up at one end of the mall. So we had the management kind of complaining at us, but it was all good. We just had to kind of disperse the group, get everyone to start moving.
Yeah, got some people on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, luckily for us, the mall had 3 floors, so I think in Kanto League technically was like all on the 3rd floor for the most part. And then everyone else was kind of dispersed between the 2 other floors. It was kind of funny.
That worked out though.
But even that, like we were saying, the spawns were kind of chill. Wasn't anything too crazy, especially with the fact that I think it was like the prior, like the couple months before, they had already been like releasing all the same spawns we ended up getting for GoFest. So it was, you know, it's a give and take. Don't get me wrong. It's like I've been playing for a couple years at this point, so I don't really need too much, but you know, still at the
Yeah, that's not the point.
yeah, at the same time for the GoFest, you kind of want, or at least you're kind of expecting, you know, like a bigger event, you know, in a sense. At least
Just a good rotation of stuff.
I think for me it would have been better if they just had a bigger spawn pool.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Because it would have just made things a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for me, realistically, aside from that, because I'm not like too picky with what's going on, but for me, I think the real downfall was the way the G-Maxes were spawning.
Horrible. Just
Watch out.
the starters. That sucked.
Yeah, the G.
Shinies, even though we had like, they should have brought Toxtricity back, Snorlax.
Yeah, exactly. There was tons of stuff
There's
they
a
could
lot
have
of
brought
stuff they
back.
could have brought.
I wouldn't have minded grinding anything,
The
really.
base starters again for the 3rd time.
Yeah, exactly. All that shit
You know,
would have
just 'cause
worked.
at least they're all shiny, you know.
Exactly.
Gengar, Toxtricity. I already said Toxtricity, but I'm just like, I just need the D-Max version so bad. Like, I'm desperate, guys.
The Dynamax.
Yeah, the D-Max.
Well, yeah, even that they didn't have any. Or
Yeah,
did
well,
they
that's
have
what
a
I mean.
couple
The
of-
variation. They just needed some sort of variation,
Yeah.
not just the starters on. What was it? The Scorbunny, Rillaboom, and
Yeah, Inteleon.
Inteleon, which they're dope, but they're not shiny unlocked, so no one cares.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to say, but it's just the facts.
Exactly. Looks pretty nice out.
Still hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Look as nice as it wants to be. Still too hot.
Yeah, it is pretty hot. Not too bad though. I'm burning up a good sweat. Popping off, my boys. I've been popping off. Yeah, hopefully all you guys had a good GoFest weekend. I had a ton of fun, but like I was saying, most of my fun was due to the fact that like we had a crazy turnout, all thanks to like all the leaders that made it happen. You know, my brother, Ryan from Encanto League,
Yeah, Desert from the
Desert Black Cat,
Black Cats.
Desert from the Black Cats.
Just kidding, the Phoenix Firebirds.
Yeah, exactly, all the homeboys.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, a big shout out goes to you guys. All the leadership really makes a difference, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Being able to collab with other communities is always like, realistically, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's freaking awesome that we can bring all our communities together. And realistically, it's not like we're realistically separate communities.
Yeah,
The way I look at it is
at that point we're all the Go community.
yeah, the way we look at it is we're all freaking Arizona Pokemon Go players. That's the community. Doesn't matter if you're a Radiant Raider. Doesn't matter if you're in Kanto League. Doesn't matter if you're with the Firebirds. We're all AZ Pogo. You guys take it easy. You guys are all Radiant Raiders in my book. I'll catch you guys later.
Go out there and get some shines.